Okay, now we're going to start making our sauce. So we're going to saute our vegetables, which is the garlic and the onions first. Okay, so add a bit of oil. I'm using canola oil, but you can also use olive oil for extra flavor. Okay, so a bit of canola oil. Okay, like so. And set your pan to medium or low heat if you don't want it to be too hot. Now, when the pan starts to smoke like so, you can put it down to low heat and it'll be hot enough to saute the vegetables. Now, I'm going to saute the onions first. Like so. Okay. Now, we want to saute the vegetables. We don't want to overcook them. So, take your time when you cook your vegetables, okay? You're not in a rush. Unless you're in a restaurant, then yeah, you have to be quick with everything, okay? So, vegetables like so. Now we're just going to saute there until they turn translucent. Now what I mean by that is that the vegetables will slowly change color from, well, fresh looking like this to slightly wilted like that. Now, normally when you cook anything, for instance, tomato sauce, you always want to add ingredients that cook faster and burn faster than last. For example, garlic. Because garlic cooks a little bit faster and it can easily burn. So, what I'm doing right now is sauteing the onions first. Then I will add in my garlic so that it doesn't burn, so it doesn't get burned throughout the cooking process. Saute your vegetables, saute your onions until it turns translucent like this, somewhere like this. Then we can add in our garlic. All of it in. Don't need that anymore. Then we saute everything together. Now if you're cooking vegetables that are wet or a lot of juice inside, like the tomatoes for example, then you can add those at the end of cooking when you're done sauteing your quote-unquote dry vegetables. Why? Well, they have juices inside. So when you add the wet ingredients in, it stops the burning process of the other ingredients. For instance, the garlic. Okay, so once our vegetables is sauteed evenly and thoroughly, like so, alright, that's when we add our tomatoes. So, tomatoes in. Actually get a bigger pan next time. Never mind. There. This needs to be hot already. Now, we coat our tomatoes with the onions so that the heat is distributed evenly, like so. So now, the goal right now is to get the tomatoes as soft as possible. So basically we're going to cook them thoroughly. Oops. Oh, that's not good. Oops, my bad. So I don't work with a small pan like this. But never mind. So, just...
I got the bigger one.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Try my best to coat everything. Yes. Okay. I've already reduced the tomato to as much as I can. So the goal is cooking the sauce is just to make sure it gets like this. Everything is soft so we can blend it nice and easy. So now we're going to transfer everything to a long pot. Preferably on low heat. Scrape all that good stuff.
What do you mean all the good stuff? The burn also must scrape.
Oh no, not the burn. I mean like don't waste all of this. This is actually flavor.
Okay.
All of this adds flavor and body to the sauce. Okay, so now we have the base of our sauce. Now we're going to start to blend it, and then we're going to add our flavor enhancers. So take your hand blender like so. All right.
It's just example. Don't have hand blender. blender, can put in the blender.
Yes, if you don't have a hand blender, you can put it in a blender, but do not over blend it. Otherwise, the sauce will be a bit too smooth. There's no texture to it. If you don't have a blender, well, go get one. I'm kidding. If you don't have a blender, you can also make the sauce like this. It will be very chunky, but it will have to do.
Will be more flavor, I think.
No, the blending is just to make the sauce a bit smooth. If you want a chunky sauce like this, then yeah, go for it. This is your chunky sauce. But if you want it a bit smooth but a bit chunky, use a hand blender. Like so. So take your blender, like so. Take your, sorry, off the heat first. Take your hand blender and start to blitz it. This will take So if you want to make it a bit faster, pour all the sauce to one side and start to blitz it.
Do you blend until the thing very smooth or just roughly?
It's up to you. But for me, I'm just going to blend it until it is slightly smooth and all the ingredients are a bit smaller and a bit smoother. Okay, so this is pretty much the base of our sauce. See, the color is changed because of two reasons. Because of the normal tomato, since it's a bit light, and a bit of the tomato insides, the seeds. So if you remove the seeds, this will be a bit darker in color. But if you want your sauce to be a bit darker and reddish in color, I would suggest you would add a bit of tomato puree for that color. So, give it a few more blitz. And done. Oops. You have your tomato sauce. Now, for the texture of the sauce, see, it's a little bit smooth, but it's still a bit chunky. That is the consistency I like. Alright, normally restaurants would serve you a bit smooth, but I like it like this. Okay, so now we're going to add our flavor enhancers to our sauce. So, a bit of salt and pepper, the base of every good meal. So, a bit of pepper. So not a bit, a generous amount of pepper, salt and pepper. A bit of sea salt. Just a bit. Okay, there we do. Now I'm using dried thyme and rosemary, but if you have the fresher stuff,
Will be better.
Yes, it'll be much better.
I will look forward to plant some. But I think got fresh rosemary outside.
Then go get that.
Fish, you didn't tell me you want the fresh one.
I thought you knew. Okay. Now these add a bit of flavor, but they also add nice aromatics to the sauce. Remember, when you're serving food, always make sure that the food smells good, because they're going to smell it before tasting it also. So make sure everything is incorporated well. Now we're going to add in our liquids or our wet ingredients. So for ingredients, I'm going to be adding a bit of chicken stock, no sodium. That means it's chicken stock, but it's not salty. Now the reason why is because, just a bit, the reason why I use chicken stock, low sodium chicken stock, is because I have more control over how salty I want my sauce to be. You can use sodium chicken salt, which is very salty, but you have to be a bit careful when you season it because, again, it's already salty. So I'm just going to use everything not salty. So I have more control over how salty I am. So at the end of cooking, I can taste and add more salt as I go when I am satisfied with the flavor of it. Now we're going to add a bit of butter. This is going to add a bit of richness and smoothness to our sauce. 2 knobs will do. Oops. Now typically in French cooking, butter is pretty much the base or the thickener of every dish. You will always see Italian cooking using a lot of butter because butter is pretty much
very rich.
Yes, very rich. It adds flavor and it also makes sauces thick and smooth, which you will see in a bit. So now you can slowly see the color of the sauce. I don't know if you can see it well. The color of the sauce slowly changing from that bright orangey flavor to that little bit of yellow in it. That's because of the butter. Now we let everything incorporate. Let the butter melt. Let the flavors get to know each other. Yeah? Let the flavors get to know each other.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's the word. Huh? So, yeah, my sauce is a little bit chunky. I like it like that. So now, it's a little bit watery for my taste. So I'm going to let it reduce to the consistency I want. So reducing is pretty much cooking the sauce or any liquids you want to around low or medium low heat until the flavors are concentrated and slightly thicker. So now the sauce is pretty thick in that regard, but I want it to be more thicker. So I'm going to put it at medium low heat to slowly cook the sauce and let it thicken up. Now, as I said before, always taste your sauce. Taste as you go. That's the term for it. So, that's the flavor I want. It is sweet, but not too sweet. It has the sweetness of the tomatoes, the saltiness of the salt and a bit of the chicken stock, and the richness of the butter. Now, I know some people, they want to be a bit adventurous. You can also add more butter you want. Now, doing that, obviously the sauce is going to be a lot thicker and a lot more richer. But if you want to risk any heart problems in the future, well, go ahead. But for me, just play safe.
Not advisable.
Yeah, I would advise it if you want flavor.
No.
Yeah, lah. Okay, so in this case, a bit of pepper.
You mean moderate?
I like a bit of pepper in my sauce. Give it that little bit of heat to it. And then there, your sauce is pretty much complete. So this is the basic tomato sauce you can make at home if you don't want to buy the canned stuff or you're just too lazy to go out and buy it. But yeah, by doing this from scratch, you have more control of how much of salt you want and the flavor and the thickness of the sauce. That goes with the pasta as well. You have more control. You can decide how thick, how rich, what are the flavors you want in the food you make. So for the tomato sauce, this is pretty much the basic of it. If you want to add more aromatics, more spices, more wet, dry ingredients, go ahead. Keep adding stuff that you feel that will make your sauce better, but don't go overboard. If you put too much of ingredients to a sauce, or any food in general, it would overcomplicate it. Sauce ready. Now what we're going to do is just boil our pasta. So, as per tradition, salt your pasta water. How much of salt? As they say, salt your water until it tastes like the sea.
Wait.
No, really, they do say like that.
Oh. Tastes like the sea will be salty.
Yeah.
Very salty.
So the reason why we salt the water is because it gives the pasta flavor. Remember, everything we make, it has to be flavorful. So, take your fresh pasta we make, like so, and we just dump it all in here. I need to dump all this thing at once.
All together?
Yeah, all together.
One stick?
One stick, trust me.
Oh, must be high fire?
Make sure the water is boiling.
Oh.
Or hot water. Let's see. Let's get all them in there. Okay. Take your favorite chopstick. Let go a chopstick, miss. Thank you.
Messy.
Ooh, metal. Wonderful. Okay. So, how do we know when pasta is cooked? Oops.
Not big enough the pot.
That's okay. So how do we know if pasta is cooked? Well, you take a pasta, like so, then you throw it against the wall. If it sticks, it's cooked. I'm joking. No.
Please.
How do you know? Taste it. How else would you tell if it's cooked? you must taste everything, especially fresh pasta. Oops.
Really, chef?
So you just taste it when it's done. So normally, fresh pasta will only take a few seconds or 1 or 2 minutes to fully cook, compared to store-bought pasta, because it's damn fresh. So this thing will probably take around 2 minutes or so to properly cook. So leave that in there. Now you get to look at our sauce. So as you can see, our sauce has nicely reduced to a nice chunky but creamy sauce. No cream is added.
No cream added.
No cream added.
No need to use cream, cooking cream and all that?
No. It's up to you really, but okay. I don't put cream because I don't need it. But if you want your sauce to be a bit creamy, one way of doing it is to add a bit of pasta water. Why? Because pasta water is very starchy, and starch makes sauces, especially sauces that involve pastas, nice and creamy. That's why you see when they make pasta, traditionally they don't put cream because of the starchy pasta water.
Okay, sorry, chef.
So, I might add a bit of pasta water just to get the sauce nice and creamy.
You got ladle there to use hot.
That's okay. I don't feel anything in this hand anyway. Okay, so incorporate that into the sauce. Now we check on our pasta. Oh, nice and
My
bubbly.
thing is already cooked. I can see it's floating.
Oh. Yeah, it's really good.
You strain the thing?
Yeah, and how else would I take it out? So, get your favorite strainer.
Hot! Then here.
Never mind. Take this.
Ooh.
Drain out as much of the water as you can, but if it's possible, try not to drain everything. If you don't want your sauce to be that watery, drain out all the water. So, pasta's here. It is nice and cooked. Here, you try some. How is it? Is it cooked?
Yeah.
Cooked well? Okay.
Wow.
Now we don't want to overcook our pasta. It's still a bit hard in the middle and a bit chewy because we're going to be incorporating it into the sauce. So, dump it all in.
Oh, nice, huh?
Fresh pasta. It's
A
always
bit
nice.
chewy, yeah. Nice.
That's how it is. It's supposed to be a bit chewy. So now, sauce in here. Ow.
Hot, I say. You're not a robot.
So, and we incorporate it with our sauce. And I made just
So
enough.
when you're mixing that, the stove is still on?
No.
Oh,
Okay,
off it.
when you are mixing your pasta with the sauce, you can already off the stove because there is already heat at the bottom of the pot.
Okay.
So that residual heat will slowly incorporate and cook the pasta until it's nice and done. So fold the sauce so that none is left at the bottom. Is it the police there? Okay. Alright. There we go.
Done?
Almost done. Put that there. Now we taste if it is to our liking.
I love this tasting part.
Uh-huh.
All the time.
And I like it. If I wasn't recording, I would have eaten the whole pot by now. Damn these chopsticks.
You should use the wooden chopstick.
If I do say so myself, that does taste nice.
Good?
That is nice. Now, okay, so everything's done. Now we plate it. Excuse me, darling. Okay,
Oh, this. Oh.
put it there.
Got the coaster for the pot.
That's okay, as long as it can touch the counter surface. Alright, so now we plate. How do we plate it? Very simple. So, take a ladle, like so, and take these funny looking things. These are kind of tongs. So, how do you plate pasta?
This is what your mom have at home.
Yeah, well, we make do what we have.
I
Okay.
got others too big.
No, it's okay. So normally you would use a carving fork, which is something like this, but it doesn't.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
see
you
that.
know what it is. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
this will do. Never mind.
I'll
So
buy one for you.
I buy for Christmas and a pasta
Yeah.
machine.
So it take 5 years
5
to
years.
complete.
Very
Yeah,
fun.
every year one thing lah.
Okay.
Right?
So plate your pasta. Take how much of pasta you want, like so. That's a bit too much. Put it in your ladle, and you twist. You see it?
Yes.
Twisting it. So take how much of pasta you want, and twist it as much as you want. This will make it look pretty, and it will also take out the extra pasta that is not rolling with it. That is supposedly one portion. So once you have your shape,
Oh,
yeah, no, it's okay. We don't need that. Put it on your bowl. Take out the ladle, and then lift it up. So that is normally how you plate it. It is a spiral. It's a spiral plating thing. There's a lot of ways to plate it, but this is the plating style I like. How it looks like. Okay, now we add some cheese. Now I'm using block cheddar. This is from the supermarket, but it still tastes good. Now you can use whatever cheese you want, but the cheeses that are normally used on pastas like this are normally cheddar or parmesan. Parmesan is more saltier and is a bit more sharper, meaning the flavor is more bold, more strong. But cheddar is nice and creamy, and it's the only thing we have. But it will still make a nice flavor pairing with your pasta. So take your favorite cheese grater and just grate it on the pasta.
more.
No,
A bit more.
no. Okay, that is more than enough actually. Now, how do we make it look pretty? Well, if I had fresh herbs, I would use them, but it's okay. Take some.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, it's
You
okay.
have to go to the garden.
Nah, too much time. Use what we have. Oops, not good.
Slowly.
Never mind. Take some dried rosemary. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh, sorry, my bad. And we just sprinkle a bit at the top here. Just a bit. This is just to make it look pretty. You don't have to do this if you want. That's done. Take a bit of kitchen towel. Oop, not good. Okay. And you just clean up the sides there. Okay. There you have it. There you have it. Homemade pasta, fresh sauce, and from basically everything from scratch. Simple and delicious, if I do say so myself.
By? By who?
By who?
By Chef Junior.
Who's Chef Junior?
Who is this chef?
I also don't know who I am right now.
Okay.
I'm hungry. Not bad. Not bad. It's simple, straightforward, and it is damn delicious. Here, you try some. Try some.
Oh, hot.
How was it?
Oh. That's good.
Yeah, I know it is. So, there you go. Enjoy.
Good than, better than the supermarket pasta.
I know.
Okay,
My
how
brother
is
cooked
it?
pasta.
Okay, how is the taste?
Let me taste it lah first.
How is it?
Scrumptious.
What?
Scrumptious.
The
Want to
Italian
eat
word.
more?
Oh, you want to eat more? Oh, okay. I'm hungry now also. I have to eat. Okay, enjoy your food. Enak không?
Flat yang lebih.
Oke guys, sampai di sini ya videonya. Jumpa lagi lain waktu.